Hello guys and welcome to another Elliott Waves on Cryptos. Markets are on a sharp decline as we expected, with BTC of course leading the altcoin and the cryptocurrency markets in general, with potentially fresh lows expected not only on BTC but also on Ethereum and other particular uh, cryptocurrencies, not to say potentially and highly probable all of them. Now, you have been following my videos. If not, you can go quickly on my channel and check what I've been expecting for a while now for both BTC and Ethereum, which are the assets that we're going to analyze today, using, of course, Elliott waves. The BTC comes on the house, pretty much that there is no vote on it. That's what it means on the house, as it's very critical to really constantly and regularly see what's going on with BTC, because it's the only driver right now for the cryptocurrency markets, the leading indicator, let's just call it, a leading pair against Tether. Ethereum has been voted by our community on our YouTube, and thank you guys for participating. I've seen the numbers increasing in the participation rate actually in the community section poll. And generally speaking, anything that I post under the community section, and this is good to know that there is engagement and way more people actually participating. For the day, we're going to start with BTC. There is slight changes, and also with Ethereum following the BTC analysis, also slight changes there as well. Do not forget that none of this constitutes investment advice. It's purely educational and also my opinion. So do not take anything to heart and too hard. So let's jump to the charts, guys, and do not forget that you can also subscribe, turn notifications on, so that you participate in this vote. We always get started with BTC, so this is going to continue being the case. We have to be consistent. However, in terms of our latest move here in wave 4, which we have been expecting consistently, I have been expecting, I need to make a minor change over here on the correction, purely because the fact that it looks like we're going to break the fresh highs currently, right? That's what the market structure hints at. It's because we didn't break above the previous high. Okay, we did break above that. That's why there is two lines here to consider, guys. Okay, one is this, and the other one is lines, resistances, levels, let's say. And the other one is this. I was expecting wave 4 to go up to like 42.5 or so, just above the previous high, to finish the correction and then start moving lower, right? But because we didn't do, and we only crossed above that low, which is the second highest low after the post-crash high, this to me now looks like an ABC zigzag with a truncated wave C. Okay, it's also actually 61.8 Fibonacci of waves A and B. If you use U2, you can see that. And why do I do that? It's simply because we have a fresh high above that level, but not above that level, which means in order for us to start moving lower now down, I prefer that structure rather than the one we had before as a W, X, and Y. We had a W, X, and Y. Okay, because Y didn't cross above that. It's not really important for that to have a fresh high, obviously, and wave Y can be truncated. However, with what happened here now, I lean towards the scenario where this is a flat. And why do I do that? Because the structures also, time-wise, make more sense. Okay, the duration of each wave is pretty much the same, whereas in the W, X, and Y, we've had an extended wave X, whereas waves W and Y were more identical, however, not structurally wise, time-wise, but again, wave W was the shortest in terms of duration. So I lean towards this pattern. That, of course, does not change anything in our long-term view, okay? I would say even short, because currently we are very near breaking the previous high. I'm still expecting wave 5 of C of 4, okay? And that wave C is part of an expanding flat. A, B, expanded flat, and then C. Many of you asked why A, B, and a C. And if you also see that structure down in wave 2, the duration of wave A is very short compared to B and also C, right? But, and as I've also responded to a comment on YouTube that, you know, this is like an ending diagonal here, but I will tell you why I don't like it. It's the fact that this correction up in B is exactly 138.2 of wave A, okay? And when we have 38.2 exactly to the point, that brings to me a wave B of an irregular flat in mind. That's the reason. Now, the ending diagonal here, look at wave A, and then B, 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. This does not make sense. This is a very extended wave A. It's not impossible, but I don't like it. I like more the fact that the condition in wave B is matching perfectly rather than that. The other one would be, as you probably remember, is that I was also calling it as an alternative. This is like, 3, this is 4, a triangle, because it makes such a nice triangle, much better than the diagonal. And then we have a 5, but I don't like the 5 because it's very short. That's why that is my main scenario. I hope you guys understand that. Now, with that coming through, yeah, we need to go, obviously, do not forget, I'm expecting the 34 to be reached, 34 Fibonacci, yeah, 23 and a half, whatever, 10% up and down, does not matter, or even 15. So it looks to me like we are going down to complete the first wave of a 5-wave move to the downside in wave 5. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, do we have any symphony, let's call it, down here? We need to search for clusters, okay? Because we need to know that this level is indeed attractive from different perspectives, right? So there is different ways to measure where wave 5 can go. First one, we can use wave 4, okay? So wave 4 is that long, yeah, from 29.49 to 41.42, okay? And look at this, my 61.8 extension goes to 23.9. So that's one very good condition that matches a similar level to the downside. Another thing we can do is use, since we have a wave 4 now, and that's the most reasonable thing to do, is go all the way from the beginning and up to wave 4. See, we have wave 4 now. Look at this. My 61, between my 61 and 78.6 Fibonacci extension, we're getting at 25 and 22, somewhere near there, right? Again, that adds not as well to the 161, but that adds also to the criteria for a cluster down here, right? And the other way, of course, is look a little bit further out and take two things. One is we're looking at the extension of waves A and B in the flat, okay? And we are gonna go to the 300 Fibonacci extension because the other one does not reach there, does not get there. So my 300 Fibonacci extension goes to around 25 as well, okay? So again, we'll have a another condition added. And the other thing we can do is measure it compared to wave A only, okay? So that will be wave A. So we'll go down, actually let me just quickly reverse this and let's go down to 3. It comes exactly at 23.5, guys. That means that, you know, wave C is 3 times bigger than wave A, which is very extended. But don't forget that extensions in wave C of expanding flats can indeed happen. Now in cryptocurrency markets as well, they can extend a little bit further lower out simply because the fifth wave of an extended of any other wave, usually it's quite big. There is also cases where waves 3 and 5 are similar, okay? But obviously, you know, if we were to do that, you know, it's gonna probably drag us down to 0 or something, even below 0. So it's like a bit of, you know, a silly thing to do. It might also be because we're using the log. Maybe just as a test, right? There is nothing to consider here, guys. Let's go to 3 and let's add 100 just the 100. Let's have a look what the 100 is. Comes to 14.5K. Okay, so not impossible, but maybe a bit too much to the 14K. That, guys, and I'll be honest here now, we've talked about this level for a while. Okay, we're still not there. Only if we break the like 38.2, the 20K, we'll have to review this particular scenario over here, because if we break the 21K, then the potential to down to 14, it will be very real. But for now, we stick to all those clusters that we found identified between the 25 and the 22, with the pivot point of this actually being around the 23.5, 24 anyway, which means we've got a very nice level for our consideration there. Okay, and what we want to do now, okay, go a little bit closer and have a look at how we can expect these to develop to the downside. Now, these guys looks to me like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? I'll be honest, I see an interaction here between waves 1 and 4. So I'm thinking that this is A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and this is an ending diagonal, okay? But because the shape, I mean, we would prefer something maybe to last a little bit longer, but for that reason, there is also a variation here. So the first variation is we ended wave 5 down here. I'm going to move up in wave 2, and then we get 3, 4, and 5. Or we might just do another correction up, yeah, go deeper in wave 1 territory, yeah, and then have another leg down, which means we're going to get something like that, okay? It's going to look like skewed diagonal rather than, you know, sort of symmetrical, but in either case, with interaction over here now, that's the only thing I can think of, plus a potential scenario that this is 1, 2, when I get 3, then we're going to get, you know, 4 and 5, which means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 internally, okay? Now, where can we go, okay? And how does this move in the internal structure? We need to take wave 1 and wave 2, because we've done them already, right? Look at this now. Let's go to 2618. Okay, it looks like we've done an extended, okay, well, first of all, let's look at where wave 3 ended. 1618, you see that? That is my wave 3, 3482, that's my wave 3. So, as we said before, you know, if we assume now that wave 1 and 5 are the same, 1 and 5, not 3 and 5, then we're getting to, actually, hold on, 0 up to 1618, 2618. That means my wave 3 and wave 5 are identical. Okay, let's look at this also from that perspective. You see, pretty much done. Yeah. So we want to see now. I mean, we might see another leg down, I said, but that looks like a landing diagonal to me, and Fibonacci. The Fibonacci extension here and the levels that we're seeing make complete sense, pure sense. Very good indication here, guys. So we might, either when we finish or if we finished, we might get up to the 1618 again, around 3482, or perhaps 33 or so. We don't know. Or maybe it's better if we just pull our Fibonacci over here, right? Take this off, do the 50, 38, and 61. Well, the 35, around the 35, 36 make very good move, right? But let's just not forget this is reversed, sorry. Let's just reverse it again. We could do even the 61.8. If we do the 61.8, then you're gonna get the 30.2 at 4, yeah, and then the 5. Either way, guys, this structure looks very reasonable as a wave 1 as well over here, right, to have finished, because the 3, yeah, and let's just assume that we ended wave 1. Look at this. Let's just say we ended wave 1 here, and we are going to go up to 34. We are going to go, right? Actually, let's not add too many assumptions. Let's just come down here. Look at this. Look at my 100 Fibonacci, and my 161 Fibonacci, where they go, yeah? You've got 2460 and 21. Once we include the second correction, which is going to be another assumption we're making here, if we suppose that we end around 35, yeah, then my 1 comes here, my 161 comes closer to the point that I'm expecting. That is a big cluster, guys, between 22 and 25. Let's just say 21 and 25 just to be in, yeah? A huge cluster. So that's what I'm looking for BTC USDT, and I hope you take this and use it, in a good way. Now for Ethereum, the change I made here as well. As you remember, we had this as a W, X, and Y. I've changed it, as you can see, it's an ABC now. Why? Because we didn't really go deep in wave, this wave A, okay? We did what? Like the 50? Let's check. Yeah, somewhere between the, hold on, is that why? I'm not sure. Anyway, between the 50 and the 61, we even missed the 61.8 plus. We didn't get even the territory of this wave, which is the first of the internal 3 or even 1. Okay, obviously, that would be the first one, the 61.8. So with that said, and because we've turned lower and it looks like we're gonna break the previous wave A fairly soon. It looks like it, right? High probabilities. To me, that looks like wave B ended here, right? For wave B ending here means that with a shallow correction, or not shallow, normal correction, but not that deep. That's not a W, X, and Y, okay? I was expecting X to go deep in. That's not my X now. If you remember last time, I was expecting that to end down here and then we'll have another leg up. I did say that I don't like this leg for the impulse because it wasn't looking impulsive at all. But it most likely looks like a wave 2 for sure, right? Which means this is a leading diagonal. This is wave 1, yeah? And now to me, this looks like this is, an impulse to the downside. Yeah, you've got wave 3. I'm going to get 4 and 5 for 3, then 4 and 5 for 3, then 4 and 5 for C of 4. Okay, might sound a bit confusing, but I will go closer in a minute. What this means, guys, is that I'm expecting an ABC correction, right? So my wave C can be, since we'll have wave B in now, can be identical to my wave A. So sometimes actually it goes 61.8 up to 1, but sometimes even lower. Lower in terms of, like larger. So we are thinking anywhere between 1625 and 1137. Yes, that's a big range, but we have to go with what the market is giving us. This is the medium sort of levels, right? The short levels can come from, well, we can look at, we've got 1 and we go up to 2, yeah? So that's, hold on, that's very close, a very deep correction anyway. So you've got the 1618, that's why I'm expecting wave 3 to end a little bit lower, right? 1823, even 17, and it will be doing this, this range. And we're looking at the 2618, which is a reasonable number, to end this correction, but it will depend where wave 3 ends. Okay, so if wave 3 ends at 1823 here minor, then we can expect 1369. But if wave 3 goes lower down, then we can expect something like the 1286. Okay, what else we can do is go internally, even in the shorter term, further in, right? So we'll go from wave 1 to wave 2 over here in the gray one, right? Let me just take, actually I cannot take it off. I can, it's just that it would make more sense if I don't. So we'll see if there is any confluences. Look at this, 1367 and 1366. It's literally like the same level, guys. You can see that, right? This is the internal correction, right? In the gray wave, even the 200. So the 13, let's just call it 13, handle is very strong, okay? I'm not saying we're not going to go lower, and I'm not saying that we are definitely going there. What I'm saying is that I've got my wave 1 and my wave 2 as a leading diagonal, so I want to see my wave 3 ending anywhere between 1820 and 1725. Then expect a wave 4, and then from there, once we get the 4, we can easily move lower down for a fresh low that could take us down to 1366, 64 or so, but even lower if my wave 5 is extended. Okay, so if my wave 5 is extended, it could be a case where we're going to go down to 300, and hold on, that is going to get us to 1239. So that comes very close to the 100 Fibonacci, A and B, right? And also it will come very close to the median line of this base channel, okay, which is going to perhaps make a much better low, a much stronger bounce potentially in case we move down there, okay. Now, is there anything else to add on over here? Obviously, yes, and both for BTC as well, guys, right? We are moving lower impulsively, but we haven't broken yet. So really do pay attention to the break. If we haven't broken, or actually if we don't break, we're still looking at a valid scenario that this is A, B, and C. You know, still, because we haven't broken that. Yeah, which means we could get back to the W, X, and Y scenario, okay? And similarly, with BTC, okay, if we don't break below the previous low, which could be the low that we're expecting, anywhere between that, right? Then we could see that becoming like the W, X, and Y we expected, right? Or to be fair, W, X, Y, X, and Z most likely, right? It's going to be some sort of triple zigzag here rather than the double. That's most likely the scenario if we don't break below the previous low. We need to get that 31 first, and then the 30, and then 29.5, whatever that is, and then take it from there. Now, that said, and as I said for the Ethereum as well, we just need to break below that. That will be our new low. Our new low, guys, can be anywhere below that. Even $1 below wave 3 can actually mark our wave 5. And in this case, it would be that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah? And that's it. And that's it. We're going to have an extended 5. So pay attention to, at least for BTC, yeah? Pay attention what is going to happen over here. Yeah? Because, as I said, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to me. But if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the 5 is extended, well, very likely that will break below that. That could be the end, okay? But obviously, we're going to have to see the signs, okay? Most likely, though, not most likely, most definitely, guys, what you should pay attention is the structure in this wave 5, the last wave, okay? See whether it's going to extend or did it stop here, and we're going to continue now up for a correction and then move lower down, because it's either that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we end, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be 1, then 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, turn the notifications on to participate in this vote, where you can, in the poll, where you can give us a vote for your favorite coin. I always post some sort of altcoins, including BTC not much actually, that I think are going to move, or that they are most relative, or the most that the community is going to be asking for, and then you go ahead out of those 5 options and you pick which ones you want to analyze. And that's simple how it works, but it's not investment advice. So guys, thank you for watching once again, and we'll be again together either tomorrow or in a few days.